Our first speaker is Lieutenant Eric Guttmann. He's a naval aviator who I believe was still in junior high school when Top Gun came out. A few years ago, Eric was confronted with disaster when his squadron relocated from Rota, Spain to Whidbey Island, Washington. Oh my gosh. Seeing his career stagnate, Eric decided to get out of the cockpit, arise from the ashes underneath Mount St. Helens, and switch to become a foreign area officer, which is why he is here at NPS. He's currently in the National Security Program before heading off to the glorious world of embassy life in TDY. Eric is giving his Icebreaker speech today to our club, entitled, "My Wife Says I'm Eclectic, but my friends say I'm doing a tour of the services." This is a 4 to 6 minute speech. Eric Guttmann.
Use it, okay.
Toastmasters, ladies, gentlemen, hello. My name is Eric Guttmann, and as I frequently tell people, and I have told you before, my father's Hungarian and my mother's Puerto Rican, so technically that makes me a Hungarican. Now, just like I have a varied genetic makeup, I have a varied array of interests and desires, which leads to the inextricable title of my speech, which is, "My wife says I'm eclectic, but my friends say I'm doing a tour of the services." See, I was an Army journalist working on my bachelor's in education in the University of Puerto Rico. And my best friend Mikey, and we all have a Mikey in our lives, says to me, "Dude, I've got the perfect girl for you. She's my wife's cousin." So naturally, I said, forget it. Because his wife and I didn't get along very well, and she was like very negative. And that was a big turnoff for me. But after about 2 weeks of hearing about this Bianca, I agreed to meet her. And it only took 5 days of knowing her to know that she was going to be the woman I was going to marry. However, due to my eclectic tastes, that would take 6 years. You see, while I was in the university, I started to practice Tai Chi Chuan, and I fell in love with the art. So naturally, I asked my instructor, what was the next step if I wanted to be any good? And he says, well, all of the high-level practitioners are well-versed in acupuncture and oriental medicine. So, after finishing my degree in education, I headed off to New York, to Mercy College, to study a master's in acupuncture and oriental medicine. And I loved it. I immersed myself in my studies, and I was seriously considering, hey, I'm going to be out of the military, and I was looking forward to open up a practice in New Rochelle, New York. However, I got a call from my wife that was something like, "Eric, I'm pregnant." So I decided to head back to Puerto Rico and be close to family. So it looks like I'm not out of the military just yet. Now, while I was living in New York, I would frequently travel to Puerto Rico during the Christmas and the summer break, and I would work at my father's school called the Computer Institute, which was giving computer instruction to businesses. Among one of the persons I met there was a colonel in the Army, and he told me, you know, this acupuncture thing doesn't work out for you. My wife is a recruiter in the Air Force, and they're looking for pilots and navs. So if you're interested, let me know and I'll put in a good word for you. So, since I've never ever considered aviation, I naturally went. Now, I start the process of being piqued and prodded and tested in every which way so I could be a nav. And after months of this, I am finally told that due to my eyesight and a new Air Force instruction that came out, I was disqualified from flying and if I would like to be maintenance. To which I said, what? So September 11th happened, and now they needed to man all the security billets at this airbase. So I volunteered to augment their security forces. after 5 days of OJT, on-the-job training, I became an Air Force MP, military police as we call them, or SB, special police as they like to refer to them, under the 156 Security Forces Squadron, and that's my second service and my second job. However, I did not want to be maintenance, and that was in store for me if I, once the MP billet was done. And as fate would have it, I ran into one of my friends from college who had just gotten commissioned through the Navy, and I told him my little situation, and he says, the Navy is looking for NFOs, which is like a NAV, but better. So, after seeing if I qualified with my eyesight, and I did, I transferred to the Navy, and there you have service number 3. Naturally, I went to Pensacola, Florida, where I got commissioned as a naval officer. And then, after 2 years of a lot of hard work, blood, sweat, tears, and about $1 million worth of taxpayers' money, I was designated as a naval flight officer in Randolph Air Force Base in San Antonio, Texas. Then I went to my first operational squadron, which was in DQ2 in Rota, Spain, my dream shot. And my family and myself loved it there. We fell in love with the culture. We considered a requirement to eat olive oil with all your meals. Got a chance to practice Spanish on a regular basis. But then the Navy, in its infinite wisdom, decided to move VQ2 out of Rota, Spain, into Whidbey Island. And that's why I'm here. Because after being an Army journalist, prospective acupuncturist, an Air Force MP, and a naval flight officer, I now want to be a Toastmaster. And that's why my wife says I'm eclectic, but my friends say I'm doing a tour of the services. Thank you.